Welcome students. I am Shubham Goyal and I'm gonna teach you about clustering in machine learning. This is the third lecture on clustering lecture series. Okay, let's start. And these are some of the topics that we have to discuss today. First, we have to understand the concept of hierarchical method followed by the categories in which hierarchical clustering algorithms can be divided. Next, we will understand the working of a prominent clustering algorithm known as hierarchical agglomerative clustering, followed by a detailed mathematical example and visualization using dendrogram. Hierarchical method. As the name suggests, it is a method that builds hierarchy of cluster. In this method, cluster forms a tree type structure based on the hierarchy. New clusters are formed using the previously formed ones. Hierarchical methods can be divided into two categories. First one is agglomerative clustering. It is a bottom up approach, and next one is decisive clustering which follows top down approach. Let's discuss them in detail in subsequent slides. Agglomerative clustering starts with all the data points assigned to a cluster of their own. That means in the start, every point will serve as a single cluster. That means if there are n points, that means there are n clusters. At each step, incrementally merge or join the two nearest clusters. That means at every step, you have to merge the two clusters that are nearest to each other into one cluster. Okay, stopping when all the data points are merged into a single cluster, that is the root cluster. So you have to stop this agglomerative clustering algorithm whenever your all clusters are merged together into a single cluster named as root cluster. Merging decision criteria is the distance between the two cluster. That means how you're gonna decide that which cluster I have to merge, that you have to decide on the basis of distance between two clusters. That can be measured using Euclidean distance, Manhattan distance, and any other metric. But here we're gonna use Euclidean distance, and it is mostly used by many algorithms. As I've already told you, it is a bottom-up approach. Next one is decisive clustering. Here starts with all data points assigned to one cluster, that is root. So in contrast to agglomerative method, here every cluster is not separate. Here all the data points are in the same cluster at the start. At every step we will split or divide the cluster into the child clusters, which becomes the parents for the next split. Now at the each step recursively divide the parent cluster into child clusters, and you have to repeat this process until all clusters become separate. That means every data point will serve as a single cluster. It follows the top down approach. Okay. Here in the picture depicts the dendrogram which is used to represent agglomerative and the decisive clustering, where these points at the bottom are representing the actual data points, and this point on the y-axis are representing the distance between these points. So based on distance, let's suppose here is some distance and we have merged 7 and 8 together. Now this horizontal green line is representing the distance between this 7 and 8. So by this method you can represent the decisive or agglomerative clustering using dendrogram. These are some steps which you have to follow while performing hierarchical agglomerative clustering. Hierarchical agglomerative clustering is also known as HAC in many books. So, first step is begin by treating each data point as a single cluster, and if there are x data points in our cluster, then we have to make x number of clusters. Next, select the distance metric. That which distance metric you're gonna select to measure the distance between your two cluster, so that decision of merging can be made. So here we're gonna use Euclidean distance. On each iteration, combine two clusters into one. The one which is having the minimum intercluster distance means the clusters having the minimum distance should be merged together into one cluster at every step or every iteration. Okay, repeat step 3 until we will reach the root of the tree. So I have told you that hierarchical structure is a kind of tree-like structure, and you have to repeat the merging process until you have merged all the clusters into a single cluster that is named as root of the tree. So let's take a sample data set of 6 data points. Here I have taken a sample data set of dimension 2, and each point or row vector is represented with the help of these data points P1, P2 up to P6. So in order to start HAC, the foremost requirement is distance matrix. So we have to compute the distance matrix using this data set before starting our HAC. So distance matrix is actually a n by n square matrix where n is the number of data points in a data set. Here upper triangular matrix is mostly kept empty, like in the figure we have kept the upper triangular matrix as empty, and diagonal elements are always kept 0. We have kept the diagonal elements as 0 because the diagonal element represent the distance of the data point from itself, like p1 and p1 value is 0. So there is no benefit of understanding or measuring the distance between p1 and p1. It is 0. Here each cell in the lower triangular matrix, this one is the lower triangular matrix, lower triangular matrix represent the distance between row vector of corresponding data points, like this 4.24 is representing the distance between the row vector corresponding to this p2 and p1, that is this point p1. So for example, we have used Euclidean distance to calculate these values. So for example, let's suppose we want to calculate the distance between P1 and P2. Then how we gonna use Euclidean distance to compute this P1 and P2? So what I'm gonna use, this 2 minus 5 square plus 3 minus 6 square and square root of their sum. That is, it becomes 3 square plus 3 square, and square root of that it becomes square root of 18 and becomes 4.24. Similarly, other cell values are also computed. This distance matrix is very important role player in HAC, so calculate it very carefully. Here cell values are rounded up to 2 decimal places. So if you're gonna compute this matrix after computing the distance matrix, select the cell with minimum value in the lower triangular matrix except the ones with the diagonal elements. Means you have to select the minimum element from the lower triangular matrix and you don't have to consider the diagonal matrix, and note down the corresponding data points, and after finding the minimum value you have to note down the corresponding data points or data labels at row and column. So here our minimum values are 1.41 and 1.41. Okay, here minimum values, and that two correspond to data point pairs, that is p1 p4, p1 p4 and p2 p5. So next what we have to do is merge the clusters with point p1 and p4 into one cluster named as square square brackets p1 p4. Similarly for p2 p5, square brackets p2 p5. Okay, compute the distance matrix again. So here in the picture depicts a partial dendrogram corresponding to the clusters merging the initial clusters. We have to recompute the distance matrix with some new and old clusters, like P1 and P4 combined together and P2 P5 together. These are the new clusters and P3 and P6 are the old ones. So marked as row vector, row label and the column labels. So and here also the diagonals are 0. So now compute the this distance matrix, and the procedure for computing these values are as follows. First, make the pair. Let's suppose you want to calculate the distance between this p2 p5 and p1 p4. Then what you have to do is first make the pair of constituent elements from both clusters, like here pair becomes p2 p1 p2 P4, P5, P1 and P5, P4. Now measure the distance between these points, which for which you gonna use your original distance matrix. So here in original distance matrix, the distance corresponding to P2 and P1 is 4.24, for P2 P4 4.47, for P5 P1 it is 5.56, and similarly for P5 P4 it is 5.83. So after finding these value, you have to select the minimum value from all these. That is minimum value is 4.24. Here we are using minimum because we have used single linkage here. If you are using complete linkage, then you have to find the max value. Okay. So after finding the value, mark this value in the new distance matrix corresponding to the data point for distance is calculated. Similarly, if you want to calculate the distance between P3 and P4, P1, P4, then what we have to do is first make the pairs P3, P1 and P3, P4. Now again compute the values from the original matrix. It is 7.21 and 7.62. So after taking minimum, it becomes 7.21 here. Similarly, for P3 and new cluster P2, P5. So here pair becomes P3, P2 and P3, P5. So after noting down the value, minimum value comes out to be 2. So if you want to calculate the distance between P6 and the cluster corresponding to combined cluster of P1 and P4, then you have to make the pairs P6, P1 and P6, P4. Here after noting the value from the original original data matrix, it becomes 2.24 and 2.24, both are same. You can select the minimum from it, that is 2.24. Similarly for P6 and the merged cluster of P2, P5, here also you are getting the value 2.24. And for P6, P3, you don't have to calculate the distance again, as we already know this value from the original data matrix. So after finding the value, again you have to select the minimum value from this new data matrix. Okay, that comes out to be 2. Now note down the labels of the row vector and the column vector corresponding to this small value marked with the red circle, that is P3 and combined cluster P2, P5. Now merge this P3 with P2 and P5 into a single cluster. Here again we are showing a partial dendrogram with the help of this picture. Here this P3 is merged with the combined cluster of P2 and P5. Okay, now again repeat the step. You have just now merged P3 with P2 and P5. Now you have a new cluster named P2, P5, P3. Now again compute the distance matrix. So here, so again select the minimum value from this new distance matrix. But here we are getting minimum value 2.24, that 2 corresponding to 2 points, that is P6, P1, P4. So P6, P2, P5, P3. So here becomes a tie. Now to with whom P6 should be merged. So in order to break the tie, we're gonna merge P6 with P1 and P4, that is on first come first basis. So here P6 is merged with P1 and P4 to give cluster P1, P4 and P6. So again a partial dendrogram is shown within the picture, where P6 is merged with P1 and P4 cluster to give the distance 2.24. Now we have just now merged a cluster. Now again compute the distance matrix. Here the points are this one. Again select the minimum value from this new matrix except the diagonal ones. Here minimum is 2.24. So what we have to do is merge all the clusters into single cluster, because we are not left with the cluster with a single element. So here all are merged into the single cluster. So here the picture represents the final dendrogram corresponding to HCC algorithm, as our stopping criteria is reached and we have merged all the clusters data points into a single cluster named as root. So here our algorithm stops, and this one is the final dendrogram corresponding to your data points. Okay. So these are some of the topics or concepts that we have learned today. So thank you for watching the lecture video, students. Do